in existence for over a year. And now it is an actual show that I am committed to. And it is a show about, guess what? My life. So, the whole fucking world, at least 46 countries until I started yesterday and reached 40 now, and now we're in 51. People already know who you are, sweetheart. I would like for you to know who you are. You have a lot of pain. I don't deny that. I can't. And I am not making this podcast for any other reason that I get paid to do it. And the pretenses and the content that I'm asked to give is my true actual life. I'm like a reality show in the form of a radio show. Reality TV is next. So all those people that hate me, they don't hate me. You do. And as a mother, it took a very long time for me to come to terms with that. I came to terms with that when you went off on me the first time when I was on the truck. I told Daddy back then, once you break my trust, why would I bend the rules for my kids that I set for myself that work for my healing path and keep me balanced? There is no shakiness in my voice. There is no anger in my voice. There is nothing but calmness, and I'm coming from an exact place of truth and love. One day you will accept it, or maybe you won't. I pray for your mental health and your heart and your soul every day, and will continue to do so. You could block me. You can do whatever you want. But unless you put a hit out on me and have me killed, I'm not going anywhere. Because parents, real parents, they fight for their kids. No matter what. That's the lesson here, parents and children. So I leave you with this. I posted it on Facebook. I know you saw it. I leave you with this. This is for parents and children. Communication is fucking key. I cuss a lot, yes. So my YZ and millennial children take everything offensively. I am not going to water down my charismatic and personality, my charisma and my personality. I'm not going to water down who I am to make each one of them feel comfortable. I don't care about anybody's feelings when it comes to this new shit that they make up. I don't live in that world. Parents of my age, we don't live in that world. You know better. Granted, I did not walk over no hills of snow holding my shoes that I was going to have to wear for 3 years and have stubby toes and, you know, all that story that our parents told. The stories that I've told about my life growing up, that shit's real. But it's not your life. Mass hysteria is something that parents and children need to look up. Mass hysteria is when you're around somebody that says that they have something or they believe that they have something. So another thing about my eldest child is she's a super hypochondriac who thinks WebMD is like God's gift to doctors, and you have access. She has access to instant medicine all the time for free. Granted, it takes a little longer than she would prefer, but everybody of her generation, it's not just her. I'm talking about her today because this is the situation. I want to teach parents and children how to communicate. Communication is why we don't get along. But more importantly, I believe that my daughter thinks that I should have never had her. I believe that my mom never should have had children, and I believe wholeheartedly, she's told me she never wanted to be a mom, and she told my brother the last time she talked to him that she is not going to die until every last Torres is dead. That's my mom. Y'all know her. Y'all know that character, right? Y'all used to feel sorry for her about getting her ass beat until you learned truths about her. I am not her. Never have been, never will be. I don't brainwash people. I use my life story to warn and educate. It comes from a place of love. It really does. And it's really sad when your kids do not listen because they think they know better. They have instant access to the whole world. Well, parents, you do too. And just like you could start a podcast. I started mine for free. Started it for free, didn't think anyone would ever listen. And I worked my ass off, and there have been months that I've gone without, because I was driving like crazy, there have been months that I've gone without doing a podcast and still bringing in money and people still downloading and subscribing every day. Why? Because I am telling a story of my life, and it is a very familiar story that all of you parents and children around the world can relate on both sides. So now you're seeing both sides. You're seeing it from my child's side. That's her point of view. You've all heard my story. She obviously is uneducated in the first 19 episodes, but that's okay. I can't tell her what to do with her time. I can't tell her that her feelings are invalid. I can tell her that she has a warped sense of conception when it comes to the inception that she has of her childhood. I can tell her a lot of things, but the only thing that she needs to hear right now is that I am truly concerned for her mental stability, and I genuinely can't say it enough. You saved my life in more ways than you will ever understand. And while my delivery has sucked for 98% of your life, I'm going to say 96 because I started therapy when Papa died. But you can never say that I didn't come to y'all and ask y'all's permission. I asked y'all if y'all wanted me to change your names. Y'all were all 100% supportive until it came out. And so now you are all listening to every other person's version of what happened. But let me ask you this. Why hasn't anyone come forward to say, hey, you talk about this did not happen, and come with some fucking receipts, because please believe I have them. Again, everything that I talk about has been either published in the newspaper, on the news. My mom was arrested. She was a deli manager in Pasadena, Texas, on Spencer and Red Bluff. Same Kroger's is still there. She was arrested on television. My story that I talk about in my it's not my stories, it's my life, told in stories. Chapters of my life that I had to relive, and I am still reliving. So, to heal, you have to deal. So my kids always say, why you always live in the past? Because I'm actively writing my past. You have to understand where I am coming from. Or you don't. Everything is a choice. You have obviously made yours. I respect it. And I will continue to pray for you. And I will continue to pray for all parents and all children that have this breakdown in communication. There's a healthier way to do it, and I have found that way to do it, and I choose to disengage from situations that are not conducive to my path of healing. Thank you for listening to Dysfunctionally Functional. Find your dysfunctions within your lives, parents and children. This is specifically going to be targeted to parents and children. So the producers, they put all the hashtags and everything. They do all of that. This is going out. My channel is being promoted specifically to mental health awareness, suicide, depression, anxiety, domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, molestation, grooming. There's a whole bunch of shit. But primarily parenting and children and teens. Teens are the number one people listening to my thing on Pandora. I found out yesterday Pandora is I didn't even know I was on Pandora. Pandora is where y'all are streaming me the most. 97% of people streamed my previous podcast on Pandora. I didn't even know I was there. I didn't know anything about the analytics. I just got on my truck, put my stuff on, and talked. Now I have to be more structured. I follow, not a script, but I have bullet points, and I get up and talk about my life as it's happening. It is a reality show in the form of a podcast. It is leading up to an actual reality show. So, obviously, she doesn't want to be a part of that life anymore. As my other children do not want to be a part of that life anymore either. I respect that. So, while I will still continue to talk about my children because I have to talk about my life that I'm contracted to, I will not be using their names. And I'm not going to make up fake names because I'm not a fake person and I don't know how to tell a lie. Anybody who knows me knows that. So, I can't make up fake names because I will laugh every time I fucking say it. And it'll be really hard because that's not the names that I gave you when I gave you fucking life. That's right. You can say, children, you can say that you don't have parents. But be sure that you're willing to put your head on your pillow to bed at night and peacefully have blissful dreams knowing that you sent something like that to your parent and something happens to your parent. Karma is real. Karma is a bitch. I don't fuck with her. She took everybody in my family away from me. Why? Because I used to write hot checks to keep food and shelter. I opened bank accounts under false pretenses. I actually am a felon, a multi-felon. I write about it in the book. It's not anything. I have never, ever hid anything from anybody. I do have a felony of forgery of a commercial instrument. I used to make forged documents in the form of finances. To do what? Take care of my kid. And all the other kids in the neighborhood. But I guess that was for show too. That was all fake. Nothing about me is fake. There's a lot of things that you can say about a Torres, but there's one thing that we're not. We're not fake. My mother, Mima, she's not a Torres. She's the fakest person I know, and you is looking a whole lot like her. And I pray for your soul to be blessed. And I pray that karma does not take anybody's children away. Do not ever... The reason I say that karma took my family away is because when I couldn't pay bills and I was doing these illegal things, I would make phone calls. My daughter will tell you, that same one that I just talked about, she will tell you. She knows how to get shit taken care of now because she's heard me hustle people all the time. Water, gas, electric, car notes, insurance, whatever the fuck it was. Our cell phones, her fancy phones. This kid grew up with iPhones. Every new iPhone, every fucking October, September, we were pre-ordered. Me and my kid, it was a tradition. Every fall, we were ready. Jelly Roll said it best. Even if the good outweighs the bad by 1,000,000 to 1, you're always going to be judged by the single fucking one thing that you did wrong. Parents, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. What is your fault, you are to take accountability for and you have to look in the mirror and you have to